Best advice you've been given to advance your musical career.
I'm saying it's you.
What a busy day, guys. Like, so busy. Monday. Usually kill me. So we'll stick to a Q&A, answering all of the interesting questions you guys have. Some of them are weird, some of them are interesting. Let's start with something simple. When will be your private lessons back? This won't be back. I don't have the time at all, and I like to focus on the things that I like in life and that fulfill me and make fun, and I love making music. So that's what I will focus on. Jay is asking, do you ever need a break from making music? Yes, 100%. I actually need quite a lot of breaks. I'd say like 4 to 6 hours on an average day is me actually making music. But then there is also like installing new plugins, updates, checking gear, a lot of like playing instruments. But like a break from music entirely? No. I just love working. Top 3 analog synths. Ooh, that's a tough one because I haven't tested fully every synth on this planet. But I'd go Mini Moog. It's just like it did so much for electronic music. Jupiter 8 and the OB6. It's usually here, but right now, because I love it so much, it's downstairs for the live set. I just love the sound of it. I hate these questions, you know, the questions that people ask just to hate a little on you. Like someone is asking why my parents are so stupid to pay all of this for me. My parents aren't paying anything. I'm paying everything myself. I've worked hard for this, and if you don't believe me, there's proof right here on this channel. You can go back up to 5 years ago when I started, when I had nothing, when my studio was tiny, and my room acoustic was IKEA bookshelves, and I had only speakers and a keyboard. Like, it's like the entire development is here on the channel, so it's kind of stupid to ask me things like that. Ooh, someone is asking about a live setup, but an affordable live setup. I think for this one we need to go downstairs. So this right here is my live setup. 2 synthesizers. Second one, still debatable. Akai APC40, a sound card, and this MPD 280 just to fire up some samples, and the computer. The budget live setup. So the thing is, a live setup for electronic dance music is very, very individual. No one has the same setup. No one. So you'll need to test and try out, figure out what you like. I would definitely recommend one piece that is doing like the triggering of like samples, of clips, of loops, and it should have some rotary, like endless kind of knobs, so you can do like effects, and having some faders is nice. So push Akai APC40. I'm using here the old version because it has 2 foot switches and a way better layout, way better faders, but that's something for another video. And then a synthesizer, because like you can with virtual instruments make electronic music live. So just having one device to fire everything, and the push, for example, you can also play with it. So like a keyboard, a MIDI keyboard, they are very inexpensive, or a synthesizer. The synthesizer has the advantage that doesn't make your computer slow and fill up your CPU load in Ableton. So I would recommend one synthesizer, so at least one of your elements is like outsourced. And I would then stick to mostly audio, because if you have like 4 or 5 instances of Serum and Diva, I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't go live with it. So you need some outboard gear. And like, there is unfortunately not really an inexpensive solution, but you could get like a small, cheap 200, 300, 400 euro synthesizer that maybe just plays the bass in all of your songs. That would be already nice. And then you can like open and close the cutoff, or like add a little noise to the bass and give it some movement. At which point in your life will you stop vlogging? That's a good question. I sometimes think about stopping, and then I think about, why should I stop? There is no reason. I love my life. Like I've worked hard for this and I enjoy making these videos, and these videos also push me because like I'm self-employed, so I don't have someone telling me to do stuff. And by making every day public what I do on a daily basis, sharing all of my songs, all of my projects, all of my thoughts, it pushes me a lot. Like, for example, tomorrow, if I wouldn't do the vlog, I could just stay at home. No one would know. No one would care. So, like, it's good to, like, I'm using you guys as motivation. And I hope it also works as motivation for you. So I'll keep on doing it until I don't enjoy it anymore. And so far, I still enjoy it. Top things you shouldn't make when making music. It's like the same with every kind of art. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can break any kind of rule. There are no boundaries. That's what's making it art. But if I had to pick something for producing music, is don't put too much in there. Don't put too many layers in there. Like, make it simple, make it clear. This is music for the average person usually, and you want to make sure they enjoy it. Don't make it too complicated music-wise. Don't make it too complicated track-wise. Don't make it too complicated like frequency-wise. Like, too much in there is usually bad. I mean, there are some simple songs, just a piano, a voice, and they're just beautiful. Then maybe some drums to it, maybe something that plays a rhythm, maybe a guitar, and that's already it. Like, it's very simple. Stick to the basics, especially as a beginner, and then start breaking everything you've ever learned and develop, evolve, make new stuff. The next one is interesting. Learning many things at once versus learning one thing and go to the next one. It really depends. If the things are not related to each other, then maybe one or two are good, because then you can do one thing, and if you're sick of it, you do the other thing, and this way split up your time. This also highly depends on the amount of time you have. And if their things are very close together, let's say you want to play, I don't know, the piano, the organ, like stuff that is very similar, then yes, go for both of them together. You could also play the violin or mandolin. I think it has like the same tuning to it. You could play the guitar and at the same time the bass. Like, there are things that are similar enough. For example, right now I learned to sing, play the drums, the guitar, and the bass. But guitar and bass is pretty much the same, plus the piano. And just yesterday, if you've seen yesterday's episode, it was kind of funny. I found a violin. It's definitely not something I considered ever learning to play, but now that I found it at my girlfriend's grandma's house, why not? It's kind of fun. I never thought like that playing it makes fun. I always thought it's like so extremely hard, it's pointless. But like, it's quite easy. Like, I mean, it's easier than I thought. It's still really hard. But I actually don't have the time for it. But I was thinking maybe I should maybe do a video like one day learning to play the violin, and me just sitting here 24 hours and just doing nothing else than learning it. I don't know, it would be a fun video, and I'm interested in learning it, but I don't have the time. But if I do like the video at the same time as learning it, then maybe yes, I don't know. Let me know if that's interesting. Best advice you've been given to advance your musical career. The best advice I ever got was someone listening to my music and telling straight to my face, it's shit. It's the worst he's ever heard. Like, this motivated me so much, and he was actually right. It was like the first song I ever made, and he was the only one honest enough to tell me that it's shit. And then I started listening carefully, and over the years more and more carefully to other songs, analyzing them, checking what they do that I don't do, how to get that crisp kick sound and the bass sound. Like, that was definitely a life-changing moment. Let's do a couple more really quick. Pratik is asking, did you get COVID? Not that I know of. I don't think so. Biggest accomplishment? There are many. But I'd say this studio, like everything in here is just a dream, and I've worked hard for it, really hard. At what hertz do you like to filter out the lows on the sides? Usually between 120 to 180. It depends a little on the track and like if it's more club, more pop. Yamaha HS7 or 8. Always go for the bigger woofer, more bass. You need that, especially for electronic dance music. Will you incorporate your DJ decks into your live setup? No. Do you know what happens in Palestine? Please search about it free. Oh, please, no politics. Let me just say one thing. In this situation, there are two opposing parties fighting, where I think that 99% of the people on both sides just want to live their happy life, raise their children, have food, have a job. That's all they want. But 1% on each side are just stupid motherfuckers that just like to screw everything up for everyone else. And I think the 99% on both sides should just focus on that 1% within their own side, get rid of it, and everyone will be happy. Hopefully, probably, maybe. I don't know, but that's all I have to say. Thanks a lot for watching. Tomorrow back here in the studio, another fun episode. And maybe playing the violin for 24 hours. I don't know. I'll try to do it this week somehow.